Hey guys, thank y'all for being here. We are here for another video. Yes, I hope everybody in the chat hit the like button. All right, yes, we are back. We are back. We are back for another video. Thank y'all for being here. Let me talk to y'all like 100. I missed it, y'all, yesterday. Okay, I missed it, all of y'all, yesterday. Karen had some stuff, some family stuff she had to take care of. I was busy yesterday, so I did not get to go live at all. Okay, at all. So yeah, I missed it, y'all, just a little bit. So we're back though. We're back. Y'all got me today. Y'all got me today. I said I'm gonna be on today for my review. Y'all know I wasn't gonna miss that for anything, but yes, we are back. Thank you guys for being here. Let's get into the show. As you guys know, we are here for our Love and Marriage Huntsville review. It is episode 28, season 6. This episode is entitled Houston, Here Comes the Problem. Okay, so everything said in the video is alleged and in my opinion, and is used for fair use and entertainment. Let's go get our banner up there. Yes, everything said, honey, we are under the Fair Use Act. All right, let's get into the show. Yes. I see y'all coming in. All right, we got 99 in the building. I hope we got at least 90 likes, at least, or 99. Okay, let's get into it. All right, so the episode begins, all right, with Stormy, Courtney, Tisha, and Marceau. They are at the pool hall. That is where it left off last episode. They are still at the pool hall having a heated discussion about their friendship and Marceau being called the B word, honey. All right. And the disrespect with Marceau saying that he came for Courtney to get his lick back, okay, after Stormy called him the B word. And he actually was kind of, being a little petty. They were all being petty a little bit. Stormy was being a little petty as well. But he was saying that he didn't like being called a bitch. Well, I don't think any man likes being called a bitch. But if you act like that, Marceau, then, and the fact that he keeps bringing it up clearly lets everybody know that you are so bothered and are pressed about being called that. Like, let it go. The girl apologized to you. You guys have talked it out. You hugged it out. Like, let it go. Every time you see her, you bringing this up, which pretty much lets everybody know that you feeling real moist a little bit. Let me give you that word. You feeling a little moist at this point. Let it go. Anybody gonna keep apologizing to you when you say and do the most shit like Marceau? No, you acting like your brother. Now I need an apology. I need an apology. Oh boy, ain't nobody apologizing no more. No, we're not doing that. But let's move on, child. All right, so let's go ahead and Oh, so Tisha actually stood there once they were talking about this whole bitch conversation, looking all stupid and silent, of course. She don't ever speak up for her husband when another woman come for him and call him the B word, which I think is so weird. I said it before. If another woman is calling your husband a bitch, that's the time that you interject and you say, hey, whoa, don't call my husband a bitch. Now, I know we might have had our differences or whatever, but let's ease up on the B word, okay? Because that is my husband. You don't want me disrespecting your husband and saying some shit like that to him. So respectfully, watch your mother freaking tone, or I'm going to have to take it there. See, that's how you handle that, Tisha. But you kind of sit back and you act like you don't know how to handle your business child when it comes to your husband. But so Marceau then says to Stormy, he says that in Stormy's culture that she says bitch quite frequently, okay, which that kind of pisses Stormy off to where she kind of, storms out. And like I said, I could tell that the fact that he called her the B word, that he's really bothered by that. Stormy, she just walked out like, I don't want to hear this shit no more. Talking about culture and all that. We came here to play. I'm already pissed that y'all asses got here an hour and a half late. Like, my time is my money. I do run businesses, unlike you guys. I got shit to do. So if I take time out of my day away from my business to be here and we meet and we agree to meet at a certain time, the least you can do is be on time. Tisha and Marceau they're never on time for any damn thing. And it's so damn crazy. So while Marceau is talking, doing this long, because he long-winded, like a Southern Baptist pastor, honey. Stormy's like, I don't want to hear this shit. So she walks out, disregarding the fact that Marceau is speaking to her and ignoring her, okay? And she goes to take a phone call mid-conversation, which I was like, that's kind of disrespectful, but go on. So Marceau kind of looks up from playing pool like, what the hell? Like, I was talking to you. Hello? Someone's like, I don't give no fucks about you talking to me. I'm going to get on this phone and ignore the hell out of you while you talking to me. So Tisha, she just kind of looking back and smiling like, okay, what's going on here? So once he realizes that he's being ignored, he kind of does this grin, this snaky grin that he likes to do. Okay. Then he kind of racks the balls on the table, and Stormy proceeds to take her call, totally oblivious to what he is saying, because she didn't give a damn no more after that, because she was already irritated. Which she was already irritated prior to them getting there because they were late. So by the time they got there, on top of them being late versus Marceau doing this long drawn out speech about her calling him a bitch instead of rehashing stuff that they already talked about, it further irritated her. Okay. So Stormy says via confessional that she feels that Marceau is trying to weaponize the culture when speaking on her and her family and how they use the word bitch. And she says, I'm over it. Meaning I ain't talking about this shit no more. I am over it. She was ready to go at that point. Okay. So production then rolls tape back to the barbecue where the word bitch was actually thrown around, where Stormy called him the B word. And it was addressed between Marceau and Stormy. All right. So then Stormy says via confessional that she didn't want to go there with Marceau. So she decided to take her call, which she felt was more important. I said, okay. So then Stormy, she kind of packs up her pool stick child, and she's packing it up, getting ready to go. And she says that she's done. After Courtney asked her, said, babe, you don't want to finish this game? Like, you know, we actually win and you don't want to finish the game or whatever. And she was like, nah, I'm about to go. So Tisha says, how you going to invite us here for a date night and then get upset and then you leaving? Like, how you gonna do that? Like, same way your ass switched up in here all late, a whole hour and a half. I'm leaving just like y'all got here late. That's kind of what I told her. Okay, yeah, I got to give you what Mel gave Martell. The deuces. Okay, so yeah, try the same way you trailed up in here all late, the same way I'm about to go. So Stormy tells them that y'all was late. Okay, like an hour and a half late. All right. So Marceau and Tisha go into confessional, and they say that it seemed like she has a need to call me a bitch if she can't, you know, and if she can't call me a bitch, then we can't be friends. Meaning that if she can't have her way and say what she want to say, how she want to say it to me, then we're not cool. So then Tisha says that Stormy acts like Stormy likes to hear herself talk, but when you call her out on it, she gets offended by it. Like, girl. But Tisha, don't you do that? Because anytime somebody's ever tried to hold your feet to the fire on anything, you get mad and you storm out because you don't want nobody telling you nothing. Maybe because Marceau talks to you like a child all the time, and maybe because he's always checking you. So when somebody else try to check you, you already checked out. Maybe that's what it's giving. So I know Tisha won't sit there trying to say that somebody get mad when somebody be trying to say something to them or to her rather, and get offended, because that's all you do, Tisha. Okay, that's all you do. So Marceau continues via confessional and says that I came here to play pool and they came here to be weird, which you're also weird. Okay, because you're still talking about something that nobody cares about anymore. You beating a dead horse, and like the damn horse is in the grave by now. You still trying to beat the damn horse. So Marceau tells Stormy and Courtney, says that maybe if we can't stop the name calling and be cordial, then we can just leave it, and we can just leave it at hey and bye. Okay, so Stormy says it ain't about the name calling. She says that it's the energy that I'm talking about between y'all. She says, and to be honest, I was kind of done on the energy with Tisha and me, to be honest. Okay, because y'all know they had that little falling out prior where she had a conversation with Tisha for stealing her shipping policy information to put it on her Macy and Mildew website. And Stormy checked her on that, and Tisha tried to act like she didn't know what she was talking about, or I didn't know about it, or the person that was doing my, the web design, it was on him. He pulled it out of the hat. He did it. She didn't know shit, and she won't take an accountability for it. Okay. So Tisha says to Stormy, she says that on my energy, yeah, she's talking to you, Tisha. She is talking to you, Tisha. Tisha acting like she don't know who Stormy's talking about. So Tisha says, well, said that you voiced it, and it is what it is. And she kind of laughs it off. She's talking to Stormy. So she says, let's keep it real, though. You invited us, and then you say that our energy is off. You should have said that up front. Like, you should have known you was late up front, okay? Ain't nobody got to tell you you was late. You knew you was an hour and a half late. Ain't nobody got to tell you that. Both of y'all grown. Y'all know y'all late everywhere y'all go. So ain't nobody got to tell y'all. Ain't your personal stopwatch or your personal alarm clock to tell your ass when you got to be somewhere. Like, what is that? So Courtney says, until next time. So he's walking out the door with Stormy, and I said he remind me of old boy Sugar Avery husband off Color Purple when they got into that big fight at the table. Y'all remember the Thanksgiving table when Celia went off on Mister's ass and she threw the knife up there on the table and was acting like she was getting ready to stab his ass. And said the husband said, "Well, sure was nice to meet y'all. All right, see y'all later." That's how Courtney put me in the mind of after all the fussing and carrying on. He just kind of sit back and watch things unfold, and then he add his little 2 cents, and he'd be like, "Okay, bye." Like he ain't really for the mess. So Tisha then says, "We'll see y'all next time then." So she got a little smart mouth. Then Stormy says that it won't be a next time. I said, "Oh shit." So Stormy goes via confessional. She says, "I feel like Marcel just wants a moment. And I don't have time for that because I'm about real business and I'm deep in my bag like a grandma with a peppermint." I was like, where I hear that song at? I heard that song somewhere. That's that Victoria Monet. I like the song, but it was real cute how you threw that in there like you came up with that, Stormy. Okay, yeah. I put it on my mama. Yeah, we know the song, girl. So Tisha was like, "Listen, I don't need no new friends. I'm good anyway." But I was like, "What friends do you have, girl?" Because you don't hang around nobody but Kimmy. All right, you don't really hang around nobody but Kimmy. And what friends do you really have? Because didn't you just say that you be in the house all the time? Anyway, Tisha, you need some new friends, child. Somebody to check you and tell you about yourself. Because real child, you obviously don't have no real friends. Because you wouldn't be out here on your bullshit like you be on it, girl. So Marcel then says that here's the rule. We're not going to do any more double dates with people that we don't know. So now y'all don't know Stormy and Courtney because they checked y'all ass. All of a sudden, they got to reintroduce themselves to you because you don't know them now because they checked you. Oh, okay. So Tisha said, "Yeah, we're going to keep it to the original." You mean you're going to keep it original? Okay. I'm going to keep it to the original. That's Tisha. I was like, child, loud and wrong per usual. All right. So next scene is, this scene right here kind of irritated me just a little bit, y'all. I'm tired of the libido talk. I'm tired of the sex talk. Maurice, okay. Maurice No Case Scott. That's what I'm naming him. Maurice No Case Scott, okay. And Kimmy Low Libido Scott. That's your new name, child. All right. They're at home when Kimmy calls Maurice to the living room to sit down with her to tell him about the sex therapist that's getting ready to come over to have a conversation with them. They could have left this shit out. I'm sorry, y'all fishing for a storyline once again. This was long drawn out. It didn't have to be. Everybody in America and the surrounding areas is sick and tired of this damn storyline with you guys. But let's get into it. Oh, I hate to even review the shit. I ain't even gonna lie. All right, so Kimmy has on her Jennifer Holiday, honey, and I am telling you wig, okay? And I am telling you. That's how she's sitting up there looking. So then Kimmy tells Maurice that they have a visitor coming. And he's like, "Who's coming? Who's coming?" Not you, because her libido is down. But anyway, so Kimmy says it's gonna be a sex therapist, Maurice. He gets all excited just hearing the sound sex. Okay, hearing the word sex that excited him. He ain't even heard therapist. He heard sex and he ran with it, child. So he was like, "Oh, really? Oh, okay, really? Yeah, okay." So Kimmy says it's not like a you thing, you know. Maurice says, "Well, I'll be interested just to hear what she has to say." I'm sure you would, Maurice, okay? Because as far as your body's concerned, it's all in your head. It's mental. So he's still on that with Kimmy. Once again, Maurice, you're out here misdiagnosing her like you are a doctor. She's already told you it has everything to do with her taking the chemo, which throws her body off, which throws her libido off. But since you want to make it like it's all in her head, just because you want to be a whole perv out here and you want to get it morning, noon, and night when you say you got all these cases and you so busy, then go off, sir. Okay? Like, damn. Kimmy sitting up there looking like a distressed doo-wop chick from the 60s up there smiling with that damn cut-off wig on with the uneven bob look. I was like, girl, where the hell you get this wig from? But Maurice says that everything works how it's always worked, you know. Well, you ain't worked, so what's up with that? Anyway, so Kimmy says that I'm into therapy, okay? You need to get some shock therapy because you need to get some shock therapy, Kimmy, because you being married to Maurice clearly shows that you're a little unhinged as well, sis. And I get it that your biological clock was ticking and all that shit, and you ain't want to be by yourself, but to choose that clown, it's giving no. All right. So Kimmy then goes into confessional. She says that Maurice isn't that into therapy. However, he is open to sex. Don't we all know it? Don't we all know it? Okay. She says that I think that the words coupled together just brings enough curiosity to him to want to participate. So sex therapy. She's like, oh, if he hears sex, then he's all into it. I was like, child, goodbye. So the therapist, of course, is at the door by this time, and Maurice goes to the door to let her in. Of course, he's giving her the once over because she's a cute girl. She kind of put me in the mind of Kamora Lee Simmons' daughter, Aoki. She's got the curly hair. She looks like she might be mixed a little bit. She's pretty. I was like, okay, I know he was giving her the looks because y'all know Maurice, he's in the 5s and stuff, so he like women like that, y'all. So her name is Dr. Fuller. All right, she's the therapist. She comes in, she greets Kimmy with her tramp stamp hanging out. I was like, you got a whole doctor coming over here. This is supposed to be a professional setting. And it's kind of a distraction why you got on this damn club shirt with all this shit out in the front and the choker thing up here on the shirt. And then the shirt is kind of short because in the back, you can see like her tramp stamp tattoo, like on her lower buttocks. Like, I was like, girl, you're a little too old for all that. But yes, child, she had this tramp stamp on the bike. All right. So Kimmy says to the therapist, thank you for coming. I'm actually excited to get into therapy. Okay. So Maurice says, via confessional, that there's always a pause when you're introduced to a sex therapist. He says that I didn't have a lot of time to actually vet her. So we'll see how this goes. All right. You don't want to be fixed, sir. That's why you have such a problem and why you're so reluctant to want to do this damn therapy. But let's see how it goes. All right. So Dr. Fuller, okay. She sits down with them. She introduces herself to both Kimmy and Maurice, and she explains her credentials and what she does, her intentions for them. She says that she's going to split them up and talk to them individually, and then she's going to bring them back to talk together because she wants them to be able to speak freely and not offend the other person when they're trying to talk about their issues and the questions that she's asking them. Okay, which I think that's fair. That's a great way to do it. Because Maurice, he seems to always like to overtalk Kimmy, and she never gets to get her concerns out because he likes to crack jokes and he likes to try to take over the conversation. So I like the way this therapist came in and said, okay, I'm gonna talk to you, Kimmy, then I'm gonna talk to Maurice, and then I'm gonna bring you guys back collectively to have a conversation with you guys together at the end. So Maurice goes via confessional. He says, I actually like the idea to have separate sessions because it gives the doctor a good foundation and not worried about hurting the other person's feelings. But my thing is, why would you want to hurt her feelings? And Kimmy and Maurice, like I said, they haven't mastered how to become one. That's what I'm noticing with the two of them. In order to be married, you have to master the art of becoming one. The two of them have not done that because Maurice feels like he is superior to her when she's really his wife. Like, he doesn't see her as his wife. He sees her as someone that he can boss around and tell what to do, because all of the Scott brothers have that mentality. I'm not sure how they were raised, obviously the wrong way. They don't think that women should have a voice, and that's how he treats Kimmy. So Maurice, like I said, he's selfish and he thinks that the sun rises and sets on his damn bowling ball head. And Kimmy allows this behavior for the sake of peace. And now she wants to correct this situation with Maurice, and it's too far gone. Maurice is set in his ways because all this time that you've been with him, 7 years before you married him, okay, you allowed him to just run amok. And now that you are having these issues that is further irritating you, you want to try to get somebody in to fix an issue that's too far gone. And Maurice ain't trying to hear that shit. He gonna sit there and listen to the therapist. But when she leaves, Maurice is gonna be Maurice. And Kimmy knows that. You married someone who's younger than you, someone who did not have his shit together when you met him. So you brought him into your home, put his name on your home, okay? You allowed him to come in and be mediocre with everything in terms of how he treats you, in terms of how he respects you. You let him put your son out and move his son in. It's the disrespect for me. So now all of these things that you've allowed him to do, there's no correcting it with him, all right? So yeah, he's stuck in his ways, and he's very rude and dismissive when it comes to Kimmy, period. And that's because you allowed it, Kimmy. You allowed it. And it starts with how you met him, hopping in his DMs and being his little sex slave and doing all the things that you felt that you needed to do in order to get him. And now that you're sick and your body is changing and your libido is not where it needs to be, he's uninterested. And I would not be surprised if he got holes in different area codes for feeling all of these desires, because she's already said he liked it 3-4 times a day. And I'm trying to figure out how in the hell did you have all this time to have sex 3 and 4 times a day when you just told her in the last episode that you have cases on top of cases and you're so busy to where you can't even hang a fucking picture in the house. You can't hang a fucking picture in the house, but you got time to lay up and have sex 3-4 times a day. Make that make sense. So Dr. Fuller asked Kimmy What made you want to have sex therapy? Okay. Kimmy says, well, we don't historically have issues in our sex life. Oh, really? Oh, really? Maurice wants it. Maurice wants it 24/7, and you're not able to give him that. And he makes you feel guilty for not doing that when you know that you have medical issues that will not allow you to keep up with him sexually. So inadvertently, you do have an issue in your sex life, okay? In general, she says, in general terms, he's always wanted more sex than me. She says he wants it 2 to 3 times a day. She says, and I'm good with 2 to 3 times a week. That's a problem. That's not a balance. 2 to 3 times a day versus 2 to 3 times a week is totally different. That's totally different. So you're thinking that if you are only cool with giving it to him 2 to 3 times a week, that the 2 to 3 times a day that he wants it, that he's not going to find some type of way to fulfill that desire because he's a sex addict. Most sex addicts will find another way to get off if they can't get it from the person that they feel is supposed to fulfill that desire, which is supposed to be Kimmy. You're sick. You're not in the mood. A lot of times you're in pain, according to you. You want to just get into bed and sleep because you're tired. You're not ready to toot it up and back it up and drop it and dip it low and bring it up slow. You ain't ready to do all that. And that's what he wants. So when he's out 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, what do you think he's doing? Where do you think he is? Or maybe, just maybe, you guys, just like Tisha and Marcel, and I've said it before, I feel like maybe there's some type of an arrangement. Do what you do, but don't bring no shit home and don't make no babies. Hence the reason why you guys all went out and got vasectomies, and you bring your ass back home, and that's just what it is. And when I want it, then you need to be available to me. That's what it sounds like the arrangement is to me. I don't live in your house, but just giving everything that we've seen and or know about this situation thus far, that's what it gives. That Maurice does what the fuck Maurice wants to do, and he's gonna come home and give it to you when you feel like you're ready. Because you can't keep up with him, Kimmy. You're an old ass woman, and he ain't happy in his marriage, and neither are you. You married a sorry, lazy little boy that you've had to do every fucking thing for. You had to help him get his credit up. His credit was fucked up when you met him. He didn't have a place to stay. He was sleeping on somebody's couch. All right. He didn't really barely had a fucking job because he was cutting hair, random people's hair. He didn't really have a job like that. So you pretty much got him at a time when he was scrubbing. He didn't have anything. He was on the passenger side of his best friend ride trying to holler at you. Women, stop doing that. He just literally got out of a situation. So you jump out of the frying pan into the damn fire. You didn't allow this man to get his shit together so that he could be a better man for you. You can't change somebody like that. So him coming into your situation like that, when you're already established as an older woman and you already have a son who's living in your home with you, you're not giving him the, what's the word I want to say there? You're not giving him the correct example that you're looking for when it comes to having a man. You got a boy in your house. He didn't want your son in there, but he want to bring his son in there for you to take care of, knowing you're sick with cancer, knowing you barely have enough strength just to get out of bed. But he wants to stay out until 5 a.m. Who's going to bring you some water when you're thirsty and you don't feel like getting up? That's selfish. That's selfish as hell. I cannot take it. So she says that her libido is gone. This is what she's telling the doctor, okay? She says that she wasn't feeling ill, that she says that, and when she wasn't feeling ill, she really wasn't feeling sexual. She says she has 20 rounds of chemo. She's had surgeries, and she's also had 36 rounds of radiation, okay? Period. That's a lot. I ain't feeling Kimmy right now. But I'm going to say that's a lot for a person. That's a lot for a person to have to deal with, on top of having a sorry ass man who don't want to take out the fucking trash, who don't want to load the dishwasher when you see that I am bogged down when I'm working and I come home after I've done chemo and radiation and all this other shit that I'm dealing with. You don't want to do the bare minimum because you feel like, because you were raised that a woman's place is in the kitchen, that a woman's place is vacuuming and doing all these things. But when you become one, then you understand the concept of the two of you doing the same thing. If I'm low over here and I can't get shit done because you are my husband, meaning my helpmeet, you come in and take up the slack. I'm just saying. Come on now. Child. All right, so Kimmy leaves out of the room. It's kind of like they're doing this switcheroo with the therapist. All right, Kimmy leaves out of the room. Maurice comes in to sit and talk with the therapist. So the therapist asked Maurice, whose idea was it to have sex therapy? Was it yours or was it your wife's? Your wife's, okay? Maurice kind of looking like a psycho, and he says, it's Kimmy's, okay? This is the first time that I've actually known about this, okay? So this is the first time. This is how disconnected you are, that you don't know that there's an issue in your marriage in terms of your sex life, okay? If you're that in tune with your partner, you know when things are off. I know when something's wrong with my husband and he ain't got to tell me because we're just that connected, period. If you're that connected, I'm going to say it again, if you're that connected to your spouse and or whoever you're with, you will know a lot of things before they even say it, just by looking at them, just by their energy. You know that. So you can't sit there and say this is the first that you've heard about issues in your marriage and in your sex life when your wife has been telling you over and over and over and over, nigga, I ain't feeling it. We saw several episodes where Kimmy's been telling you my libido is off. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. And you always make her feel like it's something so wrong with her and that she needs to hurry up and heal up because you need to have some right now. That's the most selfish shit I've ever seen in my life. You need to hurry up and get well. She's telling you, the doctor is telling her that it might take her a year. A year? That's too long. Like, bitch, I don't have nothing to do with the timeline. I'm going through what my doctor's telling me to go through, and I'm going to take as long as it needs me to heal. And if that's too long for you, that front door that you walked in when you walked your ass up in here with no place to stay is the same fucking door that you can walk out of. Take your suitcase and them 3 too tight suits that your ass be wearing, looking like a fake ass deacon out here with your bowling ball head and your funky musky ass armpits, and walk your ass out that front door. And don't even look back, and whatever you leave, bitch, will be by the mailbox. That would be my attitude. Yeah, don't bring your ass back, period. Don't bring your ass back, because you have put more on this woman than really she should be putting up with at this moment. Take your musky ass somewhere else. Go down there to Credit None and sleep down there on that sheetrock that your brother done pulled out all over the damn place. That's taking him 8 months to fix that shit. Go sleep on that sheetrock down there at Credit None. That's what I tell your ass. Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. And don't pardon my language, because these two have thoroughly irritated me. I told you I really didn't want to review this part because Kimmy and Maurice have really, really irritated me to no end. I'm sick of this storyline between the two of them. Like, y'all got some more shit going on that y'all can talk about, but I feel like you holding back because you don't want the bloggers digging in your ass about some shit that really, really needs to be talked about on this damn show. Maurice says, my sex life is good. Once again, it ain't about you. When you are married, it's our. Just in case you didn't know. When you're married, it's no more my, me, I. It's us, we, and our. Those are the words that you use when you are married. When you have a wife, a spouse. But when you haven't mastered, like I said, becoming one. He don't understand what becoming one means. You're not superior over her. Your helpmeet is beside you. It's not behind every good man. It's beside. You haven't mastered that yet. Because you still think you the shit out here when it's really y'all the shit. When you come up, I come up. Why? Because I'm your helpmeet. I'm your right hand. But you haven't mastered that yet. But what you have mastered is trying to diminish her and make her feel like she's less than you because you feel like you carry the title of a man. And a person who has that mentality, you never can get through to them. They're never going to understand the most simplest things that she tried to explain to his slow ass because he was raised the fuck wrong. Sometimes women, we can't really raise men like that. It takes a man to step in there and be like, look, you need to man up. This how you need to be. This how you need to treat a woman. Would you treat your mama like that, Maurice? Let me talk to you, because I know you watch bloggers. Would you treat your mother the same way you treat your wife? To get on national television and talk shit about her and tell her you just roll over and take it. Would you tell your mama that? Would you tell your mama to roll out of that wheelchair that she be out here on this shit on? Let me be petty a little bit. While she out here rolling on the river in her wheelchair. Would you tell her to roll with it, honey? Mama, you need to roll with it. I know your legs don't work right now. I know your ankles are swole, mama. But put them ankles in the air, honey, and roll over and take it. I doubt it. But let's carry on. He continues after he says, my sex life is good. Okay. Then she asked, then the therapist asked, how you guys are actually making it together. She says, how you guys actually, how you guys figuring this sex thing out? Like, what's going on with you guys? Okay. But my thing is, Maurice, you're somebody who like fivesomes, okay? You like fivesomes. So you're used to having other people in the room when you get down. So you're not so focused on the one-on-one action with Kimmy, okay? Because you're used to having multiple people in the room, and it's impossible to please 5 people at one time. It's impossible. So you don't even know how to please your wife because you've been having threesomes and fivesomes and foursomes and other people in the bedroom where you got to do shit over here and you got to do shit over here. Your wife is laying right here telling you, I need you. I want to feel important. I want to be touched. And then again, Kimmy, I got to blame you because the way you met him and what you start out doing, I always heard the saying, you start out how you can hold out. If you start out hopping in the DMs and giving up the ass so quick like that and becoming so desperate to do things that you feel like you need to do in order to get this person when you know they ain't really shit. And really, I feel like their relationship was mostly about sex. Because Maurice's head was still partly with Kiowa. I feel like he might have been still messing with Kiowa during the same time that he met Kimmy in the DM. So I feel like he was flip-flopping and going back and forth. I feel like he was still busting it wide open over there with Kiowa because Kiowa to this day is still upset with Kimmy because she feels like Kimmy came into a situation that she shouldn't have come into because the two of them, Maurice and Kiowa, were not done. So I feel like, Kimmy, you felt like you had a one-up on Kiowa, that you could please him better sexually, and you use that to your advantage. And now that you can't do that, you don't have a leg to stand on because he's like, okay, hey, I need you to be how you was when you was in the DMs. I need you to bust it open like you was doing in the DMs, and you ain't giving that. So now Kimmy is feeling nervous, like, okay, this man might leave me. I'm in my late 50s. This man might leave me. So I got to figure some shit out. Let me get a therapist to him. Let me talk to him. Let me wear some sexy stuff. That's why she wearing all this cutout shit, trying to dress like Tisha now. Tisha doing the same thing with Marceau. Doing anything they can. Tisha staying on the table, getting all these damn surgeries. Kimmy trying to wear all this sexy stuff to keep his eyes on her. But Maurice is not interested because his interest is in sex. He don't give a fuck about a cutout shirt. He don't give a fuck about your tattoo in the back showing. Okay? He don't care about that. Maurice wants sex, and you're not able to give it to him, and it's a turnoff. You can call Jesus Christ to come sit in your fucking living room, and it's not going to help your problems. He wants sex. Period. Let's move on. Maurice continues. It's good as long as we're having it, okay? the therapist asks, how you guys sex life going? Maurice says it's good as long as we're having it. See, that's all he thinks about. Says that Kimmy said with Kimmy says a lot of this is in her head. Here we go again. Says that physically the chemo has her feeling like she does, and it's going to take some time to get back to how she was, and it's a barrier that she's got to get past. It's like an eating disorder that people see you and say that you look good, okay, but you're actually still suffering. So you are comparing the issues that she's having with cancer to an eating disorder. How stupid are you, Maurice? You sat on your live when you came for Black Titanic, shout out to her, to say you want a public apology because people took you wrong and people thought that you were less than who you were. You want everybody to know that you were this lawyer, this high-powered lawyer, honey. You want everybody to know you was Johnny Cochran Jr. out here, honey. I'm Johnny Cochran Jr. I passed the bar with one try. So the fuck what? Johnny Cochran Jr. Johnny Cochran Jr. You're not smart enough, Mr. Pass the bar after one time, to know that an eating disorder and having fucking cancer are two different things. It's non-comparable at all. So you are that mad that you're not able to get sex 2 to 3 to 4 times a fucking day. You shouldn't have time to do that with all the cases you say you got stacked up in your office. Where's this office? Where is this office? Okay, because Kimmy even said, look, I'm tired of you talking about you a lawyer. Which says to me, nigga, you ain't lawyering. The lawyer ain't lawyering. Because if you was that busy, she would say, oh yeah, you do have a lot of cases down there. I'm sorry, my bad. I'll get somebody else to hang this shit up on the wall. You are busy down there at the office with all your cases. But she said, and I can read between the lines, she said, I'm tired of hearing you say that you are a lawyer. Like, nigga, you ain't doing shit down there at the office. You ain't doing nothing but calling me all damn day to see what I'm doing so you can come home and jump up on top of me and do your business like on Color Purple. That's really all you're doing. Blowing my damn phone. What you wearing? He seemed like that type. You gonna go to work, but you bothering me all day. What you got on? What kind of panties you got on? Oh, that's making me feel moist inside. I'm gonna get off early so I can swing by there for a quickie. Nigga, stay at work. Stay at work. Like, no. You ain't got time to do nothing else. But you blowing my damn phone. Yeah, I'm gonna swing by there on my lunch break. And daddy gonna come by and break you off a little something. Nah, nigga, stay at work. Okay? Yeah, no. I'm doing something for lunch. No, I'm good. He's starting to irritate Kimmy if you guys haven't seen it. Kimmy she tolerating him. There's a difference between adoration and toleration. People need to understand that. There is a difference between adoration and toleration. And it's seeming like Kimmy is starting to tolerate Maurice more so than having some type of adoration for his ass at this point. Because you ain't giving nothing. And the sex part, that's irritating her. It's irritating me. You ain't even touching me. Anyway, so back to Kimmy. All right, Kimmy comes back in. The doctor asks her about intimacy. Now, this part right here really struck my interest. The doctor asked her about her intimacy or their intimacy. She says it's different from sex, right? She's letting her know intimacy and sex is not the same thing, and it's not. Being intimate with a person and just having sex, that's different. Anybody can go out here and have sex. Anyone, you can find anybody out here on the corner, honey. Just go out here and boom, 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 be on this shit right here and grind and move and dun, dun, dun. Anybody can do that. But the intimacy, that means I'm getting in your mental. I'm getting into your emotions. I'm pulling emotions that you didn't even know you had when I'm trying to be intimate with you. I'm trying to become one with you. When you just trying to have sex with somebody, you ain't trying to become one. It's a wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, you out of the door. Where my drawers at? That's how you are. You get yours and you're like, damn, where my drawers at? Oh, okay. I'm about to go. Thank you. Text me and let me know when you want some more. That's sex. Intimacy is getting into the mental. I want to know you mentally, physically, psychologically, in every way I can. I want to get in your heart, because once you get in that heart, that's a different type of thing right there. So the doctor is asking, what's the intimacy like? Because that's important when you're married, to have intimacy. Every now and again, I like it rough. Can I put y'all in my business a little bit? Every now and then, as a married person, or as a person in a relationship, you're going to have some moments where you're going to want to be made love to. And then there's going to be some times that you want your back to be cracked. You want your head behind the headboard and this shit here. You want this shit here. But for the most part, can I school y'all just a little bit? Let me put y'all in my business. For the most part, you want the intimacy. Somebody said, teach caramel. You want that intimacy. You want that quiet time. You want him to talk that shit to you. You want to hear him breathe in your ear. You want him to get you to that point where you ain't never got before. Y'all feel me? That is what the doctor is asking Kimmy. Have you been there before? Have you had that moment where he hit that thing so right till you got one little tear coming out the corner of your eye? That's intimacy. You don't do that with just sex. No. Yeah, no, you don't. You don't. You pulling up the headboard, you about to pull up the whole damn headboard, and you done damn near pull the whole mattress off the damn bed. Oh, I'm sorry, that's just me. Back to the show. All right, so the doctor asked Kimmy. She's asking her about intimacy. Okay, she says, you know, it is different from sex, right? Kimmy says, yes, I 100% agree. Okay, girl. So the doctor explains the intimacy. She explains the intimacy to Kimmy. Okay. She says, what is your intimacy? How's your intimacy on a scale from 0 to 10? All right. Kimmy responds, it's about 4. I said, God darn, that's low. 4 is too far away from 10, because 10 we know is the highest. Okay. Somebody said silly thing. Why y'all see, Dawn, why you all in my business and whatnot? Okay. Donna put my business out there talking about the damn ceiling fan. See, I gotta stop telling y'all stuff because y'all be on it. Okay. Yes, you must have a ceiling fan on because the bitch do not like to be hot. I mean, damn, all that stuff and you gonna be hot. I need a ceiling fan on high. I need some air circulating. All right. Back to the show again. So the doctor, like I said, when she explained intimacy, Kimmy says, it's gonna be about an hour. So I was like, that's a problem. That's a problem. Maurice, honey, he just jumps in there, he pounds you out, and you just roll over and take it, and he get up. There's no foreplay, there's no intimacy. Y'all just get undressed, he get up there, get his, and he out the door. That's what it sounded like. There's no intimacy if it's a 4. That sucks. Maurice, you suck in bed. Say it right here. Sue me. Because your wife said it. Sue me, bitch. Your wife said you was a fuck. Now, was that in length or mojo? Kimmy, holler back. KaramelRail75gmail.com. Is that in length? Is he a 4 in length, or was that his mojo, girl? Is the mojo giving 4, or is it the length? Is he like a 4? Is he a 5? Is he half a $5 foot long? Let me know, girl. Not that I care, but girl. All right, so yeah. So like I said, Kimmy, you don't hop in the DMs, baby, and you don't mess yourself up because you gave him something. You gave him that Anita Baker. You gave him the best that you got, girl, too quick. You gave him that TLC, girl. This is you in there in the DM. Yeah, Maurice, I can come by there. What you doing tonight? You got somebody hair to cut? All right, so 4 o'clock, I'm about to come by there and give you that Anita Baker. You on this bullshit here in the DM. You're like, oh, okay. You done had on your little skimpy bullshit, done send him some little pictures or whatever, knowing your ass was old as Jesus Christ. You knew you was too old. You don't send him the little pictures and shit. Y'all know how it is when you trying to get a man's attention. You don't put on some cute little shit and you don't send him the pictures in there because you don't got in his head now. You got him thinking like, oh, she ready to do some shit. I got Kyle over here. I don't know where we are quite yet. But I know she's still giving me the booty a little bit. So I got her over here. I got Kimmy over here. She hollering at me in the DM. She sending me these cute little pictures or whatever, the legs and shit all out with a little tramp stamp on the back, sending a little booty shot. She want to let him know what she working with over here. So you done did all that too soon. That he done put you on a 7-year. Tony Brack said 7 whole days. Bitch, he done put you on a 7-year pause. He ain't married you because he ain't see the value in you. Because you was giving him everything. What's the hurry to get married? What is the hurry to get married to this man? Or to get married to you, rather, Kimmy, when you're giving him everything up front? He didn't see no reason to rush and get married. Period. There's no rush to get married to you. But moving on. Moving on. Somebody say next, please. Let's not do that, okay? When you click on it, says Caramel Rail. That means it's my show, okay? When Caramel is ready to move on, she will move on, okay? We don't do next, please, over here. That might be where you do that shit over there somewhere else. But over here, we don't do next, please. When we ready to move on, we move on. All right? Let's don't get called out now. Because I'm feeling a little petty tonight, and I don't want to snap off on nobody. But let's move on. Because I'm ready to. All right? Now, the doctor then asked Maurice, okay? It says on a scale of 1 to 10, Maurice, what is your intimacy level? All right. Maurice said, well, right now, it's maybe a 2 or a 3. All right. He's standing there, he's sitting there with his arms crossed like this, which gives me, because I read body language, you're in defense mode. All right. You're in defense mode because you don't know what this doctor is getting ready to ask you, because you didn't know if she's getting ready to check you, because she's already been talking to Kimmy. So you don't know what she's going to ask you now to come at you. You don't know how she's coming at you. So you're in defense mode with the arms like this. All right. That's what the arms mean when your arms are crossed up. All right. So the doctor says, oh, okay. 2 or 3. That's kind of low. That's pretty low right there. Okay. So the doctor then brings Kimmy back in and says, do you feel that he's insensitive to your needs? All right. Do you feel he's insensitive to your needs? Kimmy says, I don't know if it's that he's insensitive to my needs, or more so a priority. See, you protected him, Kimmy. And that's the problem I have with you. And that's why you guys can't figure out your problems and fix them, because every time she gets ready to, or every time it looks like Maurice is getting ready to get fixed, it was the same way with Dr. Francis. When Dr. Francis talked to you guys, you always speak up in the wrong time and try to defend him when he's getting ready to have a breakthrough. And sometimes just learn how to shut the hell up, Kimmy, so that he can finally get what he needs. It's always that with Kimmy. fall back and let him take on the responsibility and accountability. You don't allow him to do that because you're always in protective mode when it comes to him. Period. Shut the hell up. This woman asked you, do you feel that he's insensitive to your needs? Him telling you hurry up and heal, and I want it 3 to 4 times a day, knowing that you are going through all these rounds of chemo and all this damn shit that you talking about you was going through. Yes, that's being insensitive. A simple yes right there would have been suffice. But here she comes. I don't know if it's that or if he's being insensitive to my needs or more so a priority. Girl, you're delusional. You're delusional. If you're going to be transparent in this moment and get the help you need, you got to be honest, Kimmy. And stop protecting his feelings because he ain't thinking about yours. Oh. So the doctor brings Maurice back in and explains how the chemo does the body and the effects that it has on Kimmy sexually. He's just sitting there looking like, okay, and I heard this before, and that's his whole reaction. And I didn't like that. So the doctor then says, have you had time to talk? Okay. Have you guys taken time? Okay. It says you have to take time. You have to take patience, and it takes understanding on both parts to get back right to where you guys used to be. Well, where did you used to be is the question. Because it sounded like you guys have never been in that at one place. It doesn't sound like you need to get like Brian and I, you need to get back at one. It don't look like y'all ever been there. All right. So it is so dysfunctional. So like I said, the problem with Kimmy is that she's not being transparent in this moment, and it's going to derail their healing process because you're in protective mode versus allowing him to take accountability. All right. So like I said, you married a scrub, sis, and you're going to have to get out of not making him take accountability. And the fact that he made you wait 7 years before he made an honest woman out of you speaks volumes. And he only married you because y'all was on the show and y'all needed the storyline. Let me help you. I know you don't know this, Kimmy, but the only reason why Maurice married you, sis, look into the camera because I'm looking at you. The only reason why Maurice married you is because you guys needed a storyline and y'all didn't have shit going on that y'all really wanted to talk about. So in order for OWN to pay for your wedding, okay, because y'all ain't have no money like that because y'all already, what are y'all, 80,000 in back taxes and shit like that? Maurice really wasn't working like that. Look how long it took him to take you on a honeymoon, sweetheart. That's how much he values you. You had to primarily beg him for a honeymoon even after he married you. And the only reason, like I said, was because of the fucking show. Not because he's so in love with you and he wanted to make you his wife. He didn't give a damn because he was already living with you. He was already getting the cow for free. You already taking care of him. So being married was just a paper. You already put his name on your house. So what else could you have given him? What could you have given him after that? So the doctor says, Kimmy, come and join Maurice. When Maurice says, Kimmy, I'm fixed. Like he makes a joke out of everything. Come on, Kimmy, I'm fixed now. You can come and join us now. I'm fixed. And I was like, nigga, you never been fixed. The only thing that's fixed was when you had that vasectomy. That's the only thing that's been fixed. So Kimmy replies, you always say that, Maurice, okay? And you always co-sign that, Kimmy. All right. Now, Maurice tells Kimmy, and she agreed with me on pretty much most of what I had to say, on most of the points that I was giving. Bullshit. Okay. So the doctor says to them, says that y'all are saying the same things, just in a different way. Says that you don't communicate for the other person to understand. You guys have to. She said you don't communicate for the other person to understand that you guys have to understand what type of intimacy you want. All right. And then Kimmy was saying, so she asked Kimmy, what kind of intimacy do you want, Kimmy? Kimmy says, well, mine is act of service. I was like, listen to the question. She asked you, what kind of intimacy do you want, Kimmy? All right. Because Maurice ain't really doing shit. That's what it's looking like. So Kimmy and Maurice, they go via confessional. All right. And they say, when we first got together, this is Kimmy, when we first got together, she says that watching him build things and lay floors was very sexy to me. See, she likes him to do things physically. She says that being a single mom with no help, that was very important to me. Okay. Mm-hmm. So Maurice then says that I never made the connection with you being a single parent and needing the help. He says, like, literally, I've never heard that before. Did you not know that she had a son when you met her? You didn't know that? You didn't know that she did not have a man in her life when you met her. You were cutting Jalen's hair. She already talked about it. You were cutting Jalen's hair, which lets you know that she did not have a man in her life. She was a single woman. She didn't have somebody else in there, a male figure, to do these things. So she was relying on you while you guys were starting to see each other to take on the male role. So you kind of did know that. Why does everything have to be spelled out to you, Maurice? You remember you're a lawyer who passed the bar the first time, so you're smarter than everybody in the room, according to you. All right? It says that as a man, you should see these things, okay? So the doctor then says that they've got work to do. They're going to do some type of intimacy exercise now, okay? She says that there's layers and that she wants them back to where they were when they were dating. That may not be a great idea because, like I said, they were just humping around like Bobby Brown. So Kimmy, get back in side chick mode. That's pretty much what the doctor's telling you. Get back in side chick mode, Kimmy. All right. So the doctor then says that the foreplay was there when you were dating, correct? Kimmy nods. Yeah. But you weren't sure when you said yeah. It sounds like it was one of those I don't know yeses. It's like you said yes, but you weren't sure. Shit crazy. So the doctor then tells them, all right, I want you guys to sit facing each other. All right, sit Indian style. And then she wants Kimmy to like sit in his lap because she wants them to intimacy. She wants them to be close. She wants them to look in each other's eyes. She wants them to be able to talk and tell each other what it is that you're missing and what you expect out of each other. All right. So the doctor says you're going to sit in his lap and you're going to straddle him. Maurice was happy to hear that. That's his love language, to have somebody's legs open and sitting straddled on top of him. He likes that. Somebody says, I have a troll. Can I get my mods to go ahead and knock that out for me? Let's go ahead and block and or put that troll in timeout, please, guys. Can we go ahead and do that? Can we do that for me, please? Thank you, Don Simmer, for letting me know where my mods at. Do we have any mods in here? Can we get somebody to go ahead and handle that troll and put them in timeout and or block them? Actually, you can go ahead and block them because really you're not here for any good. If you're a troll, let's go ahead and block. All right, block. All right, anybody, if you want to mod tonight, it's fine. Go ahead and block because Kimmy are trying to get through the show. All right, I appreciate it and love you down. All right, so Kimmy jumps up real quick. She opens her legs up. After sitting Indian style in front of Maurice, like she did when she first came over after the DMs. Okay. Who is Caramel deceiving? What the hell? Okay. Wow. All right. So Kimmy jumps up on Maurice, sits in his lap. Okay. He grabs her legs and pulls her to him to sit on top of his legs. Okay. To sit on top of his lap. All right. So the doctor was like, oh, okay. Whenever that happens. All right. So then Kimmy, she's sitting straddling Maurice with her legs, like I said, like around him, and you can kind of see her tattoo in the back, the tramp stamp. And the doctor, she looks like, oh, okay. All right, so the doctor says, so any more questions for me after they have a conversation? Okay, after they're talking, she says, do you guys have any more questions for me? She's explaining to them how she wants them to talk to each other and tell each other what it is that you're missing, what it is that you expect out of one another. So Maurice says, so how often are you in town, Doc? Okay. So the doctor says, as often as you guys need me to be. So we're moving on to the next scene. We're done with Kim and Maurice. Thank you, Lord. All right, so the next scene is they're at the PBR Lockhart bull riding bar with the Fletchers to invite the cast to Texas, okay? And the Fletchers brought everyone in the cast some cowboy hats as well, all right? Everybody's starting to arrive. They greet each other, okay? The first to arrive is Stormy and Courtney. They get there first. They sit down and find a table while they're waiting on everyone else to get here. Can we get rid of the trolls, please, guys? All right, so then, like I said, Kimmy Maurice, they arrive next, and then following them is Tisha and Marceau. All right, so Kimmy, she notices that there's a bull to a ride over there. She's like, oh, there's a bull here. All right. And Maurice is saying, well, maybe you can get up there and ride the bull. Okay. And Kim was looking like, yeah, I don't know about it. But then they go into confessional. And Kimmy says, well, it's not my first rodeo. And she's kind of popping her collar, like, yeah, I can actually get up there and ride. Like I can ride the bull. All right. So Maurice then responds like, yes, she can ride now. She can, like, he's co-signing like, yes, she can ride. All right, so Tisha and Marceau, they'll ride next, okay, on time for once. Tisha's loud, hey, with that annoying voice. I was just like, oh, Jesus. She comes in, hey, girls, hey, hi, everybody. I was like, girl. All right, so they greet everybody. And they go over to greet Stormy and Courtney, at which they're looking like, yeah, don't come over here, because their last interaction with you guys is giving no. So Tisha walks around the table and she goes up to hug, she does hug Tisha, which she does hug Stormy, which Stormy looks very uncomfortable. Then she goes over and she hugs, like, gives like a fake church hug to Courtney, and he kind of looks at Stormy like, you see this bullshit, this fake mess. All right. It was so fake, y'all. I was like, Lord. They was looking like, what the hell is going on here? So Marceau goes over and greets Courtney, said, hey, what's up, Courtney Lowe? And then he kind of gives him the dap, like, what's up, big boy? He daps him like a fake, the little fake miss that they do. So Marceau then says, what's up, Stormy, Miss Stormy? How are you doing, ma'am? And he kind of looks uncomfortable speaking to her because he don't know if she's going to speak back or if she's going to give him attitude. So he looks a little uncomfortable. So Courtney and Stormy, they go via confessional, and Stormy says that Tisha's being hella fake, hugging her, and she feels that she's trying to F with her. She says that she's not giving her the time of day, okay? I ain't giving her the time of day. So Courtney then says that as long as Marceau don't come around here trying to be hugging nobody, everything will be all smooth, all right? I was like, Lord. So Melody then arrives, okay, giving body, yada, yada. The outfit she had on, baby, that dress she had on was giving. Melody, if you're watching my channel, baby, it was giving. I need to know if that's the J Bowling, because I need to get in that. The dress was giving. It was showing all her little curves. So much so to when she walked in the room, she stopped traffic. Everybody that was talking, it was like, everybody's attention was focused on Melody. Tisha was staring at Melody. Marceau was staring at Melody. Maurice and Kimmy was staring at Melody. Even the Fletchers was looking. And even Stormy and Courtney, everybody was looking at Mel like, damn. The body was bodying in the dress. I got to give her that, okay? No homo, but I got to give you that, Mel. You was serving the girls. The girls were serving, all right? So, yeah, she was serving body, yada, yada. All right, making everybody drool, honey. They was looking at Mel. And Tisha was looking like, damn, I had all these surgeries and I still don't look like that. Got to do a re-up, girl. But anyway, so Melody Child, she was bringing all the boys to the yard in that dress, all right? And Nell says, everybody came all sexy, okay? Melody, she then proceeds to put on her cowboy hat like everybody else. Everybody else had on their cowboy hat. So in walks, honey, Puffy, the puffy-eyed little Bill, a.k.a. Martell, child. Y'all know he's still puffed up from getting all the shit cut from under his eyes, child. Getting the bags cut from under his eyes because he ain't been sleeping from thinking about Mel and up, trying to troll and do the next shit that he been doing Mel. So he ain't been sleeping. He had to get the bags cut out. All right, so he got on these damn shades looking like a fake-ass P. Diddy. Walking up in there, all right? The stressed fake-ass Philip Michael Thomas, because his shirt was all open like this here with all his damn chest out. I said, where the hell you going, Martell? Look like a fake-ass Philip Michael Thomas coming up in here. So he then speaks to everybody, and Melody looks like, this motherfucker, like, what is he doing here? Melody was not feeling his ass being that she didn't want to see him, because as you guys know, prior, she had already spoke to Nell rather, at her ceremony, where Nell came up to her and was telling her all the stuff that Martell had to say about her, saying that she was out cheating and she was doing this, just telling all these lies. So by the time she saw him, she was like, this motherfucker, like, what is he doing here? Like, I don't want to see his ass. Like, Lord, why is he here? Like, oh, Lord, strike him down right here. That's the look she gave him. She looked at him so disgusted. So Martell said that, like, he was looking like, I ain't get the memo. That's what he says. I ain't get the memo. So he's seeing everybody with their hats on. Which then Nell gives him his cowboy hat. So Mel goes via confessional. She says, so there's been a lot happening. Then production then rolls tape back, like I said, to the ceremony where Nell was telling her all the things that Martell was saying about her, which kind of pissed her off because she hasn't had a chance to confront Martell about any of this yet. So Melody says that she really doesn't want to be in Martell's presence, and she didn't know that he was invited, but she's just going to play nice, and she looks forward to hanging with the Fletchers. Then she goes, like, yeah, I ain't trying to hang with him, but the Fletchers, I'm here for that. So Nell, she then speaks to the group and she says, okay, guys, now we're going to act like adults now, okay? So Marceau then asks, why we got on these hats? What we got these hats on for? So they're all excited. Martell, he looks all disheveled. He's playing with his hat. He's peeping at Mel over his shades, child. He's still trying to look at Mel, looking all crazy. And Mel just looking like, nigga. All right, so Nell then says, okay, we're not taking no for an answer, guys, okay? We want the whole group to go. We want everyone to participate, okay? We're going to act like adults because we're all adults. And everybody looking like, okay, what's going on? What are we doing? So Nell and Chris, they go into confessional, child, while everybody's still sitting there waiting. That says that Houston is our favorite place to go. Nell says that she can get some girl time, and Chris says that he's happy to be able to get some guy time and hang out. So going back to the group, Melody, she kind of looks uncomfortable after the announcement. So Martell, he, like I said, he keeps looking over at Mel, but he knows that Melody knows something about him, which is why she's giving him the stank eye. He knows something's up because he knows he's staying some bullshit and something done got back to Mel. So Melody goes via confessional. She says that she has a lot of reservations in terms of going on the Houston trip, okay, after it's announced that they're going to Houston, all right? So she says that she has reservations staying in the same house as Martell, and she says that anyone should understand it and why. She says that she has to, at least if she goes, she has to have a different side of the house, and she needs a lock on her door because she doesn't want Martell coming in there. And we all know what she's talking about. If you guys watched past seasons, the season when they went to Las Vegas, Martell snuck into her room at like 2:30 in the morning, according to her, while she was in the bed asleep when they were in Vegas, and he tried to get some nookie. Y'all remember that? Okay, and she kicked him out of the room, and he was mad because she didn't want to give him none. He thought because he could just still come up in there and get some, and she kicked him out, so he was mad. Even so, to where he kind of turned out where he was trying to fight Belle and running up in her face and yelling and bucking up on her, to where Marceau had to jump out the pool looking like a wet seal and run in there and grab him. So he was on some other shit. So Mel was like, look, if I go on this trip with Martell, with all the shit that we're going through, I need to be at the other end of the house, and I need my room to be locked because I don't want him sneaking in my room on some bullshit. All right. So Nell says that the Whitlows are invited too. All right. Tisha says, well, we need them because they be making all the best drinks or whatever. So Nell then asked Courtney and Stormy, she says, I'm looking forward to it. Are y'all looking forward to it? Because she's all hyped up at this point. So they're kind of looking like, yeah, hell no, we're not looking forward to this. Like, we're not looking forward to going at all because they're still in their feelings with the situation that happened between Marceau and Tisha. All right. Just looking at them two, they're not feeling it. So Kimmy kind of jumps in trying to play fake peacemaker, fake peacemaker, and asks Courtney and Stormy, says, are y'all good? Are y'all good right now? Says that y'all had an issue with Tisha and Marceau and y'all resolved it, right? I'm like, why you in their business? Now that's letting me know that Tisha done picked up the phone and called Kimmy to let her know what happened between them, to put her in their business. Now Kimmy's feeling like she's got to insert herself to play fake peacemaker between them. And Stormy's just like, what the hell you got to do with this? So Marceau then says that we ironed everything out. And so Tisha's sitting there cheesing, knowing that they're really not in a great space. So Kimmy says, so this is going to be a good trip, right? So Courtney's like, I don't know. So Stormy kind of looks bothered, and she's rolling her eyes, and she's looking like she's not here for it. You can tell she's really bothered. Something's really bothering her. So Courtney's like, I'm good. I'm always good for a trip. So Stormy is looking like, and she ain't saying nothing. She's just still giving the stank face. So Kimmy calls Stormy to the side to talk to her, to see what's really going on with her, okay? All right, so Kimmy then says to her, she says that Tisha told me that you guys had a double date and that y'all weren't good. She says, if y'all actually talked about things, are you guys good right now? Okay. So Stormy is like, not really. So then Nell goes up to Tisha while Kimmy is talking to Stormy, and Nell asks Tisha, she says, how are things with you and Stormy? Because they noticed the friction in the room. So Tisha was like, fine, I guess. Like, Tisha, you know things are fine, because when Stormy and Courtney left, you guys were saying that you don't want no new friends, that you don't really want to hang out with her no more. And Stormy even said that this is the last time that y'all gonna even kick it. So you knew you guys left on bad terms. So now you want to sit here and act like everything is copacetic when it's not. It's giving fake vibes, and you guys are not being truthful with what's going on between you guys. It's obvious that there's thick tension in the air. All right. So Tisha then says, why? What she tell you? Which is a telltale sign there's some shit going on. So Nell then says, well, she told me about the hairline information that you stole from the Macy and Mildew hair care thing. I put the Macy and Mildew thing in there. All right. So Mel then says, oh, yep, I heard about that too. Yep, I heard about that too. All right, so then Tisha, she starts playing with her weave, honey, doing this here. And she explains the lie again about the web designer actually creating the website and just use Stormy's shipping policy unbeknownst to her. All right. So then Stormy and Kimmy, they're still talking. And Stormy explains to Tisha that using her website was wrong and that the outcome of their conversation was not right whenever they had a conversation about it. Okay, so production then rolls tape back to Tisha and Stormy when they were at Tisha's little unfinished office over there with all that sheetrock shit around when she's standing over there in the Easter Hills. They rolled the tape back to when they had a conversation about the two of them talking about Tisha using Stormy's shipping policy, and Tisha acting like she didn't know about the shit when she did. So Tisha says via confessional that Stormy is sending mixed signals, and I don't understand why you be going around telling Nell about the website issue. I thought we was over that. I thought that we were past PASS that. Says, why are you going around telling people about it if you say that you don't care about it? For someone claiming to be real and upfront, it's given that you're fake and tacky. That's what she's saying about Stormy. But I'm like, you don't want people to know about it because you're embarrassed at the fact that you went out here and stole her shipping policy, and you want to keep it on a hush hush because you know you was on some bullshit. You knew you were on some bullshit. The website designer didn't just go out here and just pick a shipping policy out of the sky, and I said it before, and then just throw it on your website and you didn't know about it. You had to have seen the shit before you put it out there for the public to see. So now that you got caught up, now you looking stupid and you don't want to take accountability because you're embarrassed. And that's what it's giving. All right. So Stormy then tells Kimmy, says that they are them and we are who we are. And it's just going to be a high and by going forward. Okay. So she's upset, meaning I ain't fooling with them no more. So Kimmy then asked, if y'all were feeling away, then why would you guys go on a double date? Okay. Stormy says that we were trying to actually get past everything. So then Tisha is actually saying, to Nell and them, she says that Marceau decided that we wasn't going to fool with them no more. Okay, so now Marceau tell you what to do. You don't have a brain for yourself. You can't say, well, I'm cool with them. Like, if you don't want to fool with them no more, then I'm cool with her. Then I feel like we can still, be at least cordial to one another. But for him to tell you, no, we ain't friends with them and you just not friends, that's not cool. So yada yada yada, they continue to go back and forth about that. Kimmy then says via confessional, says that Marceau is a gaslighter. He's condescending and he's a smart ass. And the same can be said about Stormy, and it's not as received when it's directed at her. And I'm like, that sounds just like you, Kimmy. The pot calling the kettle black. Like, girl, you are giving the same vibes as Stormy. All right. So then Melody asks Marceau, says that how is it going to be with you guys going on a trip? Are y'all gonna be okay to be all in the same space together? So then Marceau was like, yeah, I mean, like, just get over it. I'm fine. I ain't got nothing against them. So then Marceau and Tisha, they go be a confessional, and it says, as far as I'm concerned, I don't have beef with Courtney and Stormy, okay? So Tisha, she kind of shakes her head like she's in agreement, looking crazy. Like she always does when Marceau is talking, she's always looking at him like she's co-signing everything he says because she don't have a voice. So Marceau then says, if they have beef with me, then it's just personal beef. Then Tisha says that Stormy and Courtney will probably be in a corner quiet somewhere because they're always quiet. Now you're throwing shade. You just said y'all were fine, and now you're throwing shade. All right. So Kimmy then lets Stormy know to just channel her inner oasis and have fun on the trip. And she says, we need to go eat because I'm actually hungry and I don't want the food to get cold. So they break from their conversation to go get them a place so they can go eat. Because everybody at this point in time, they're eating. And you know Mel gonna go eat, child. So the guys, they're sitting at a table and they're eating and they're talking. And Marceau says that we're going to have fun. We're going to have a fun time in Houston, dog. Like, I'm excited to be going to Houston. We're going to have fun. So then Marceau also says that we need to keep the men and the women separately so that we can actually have more fun. All right. So then Martell says, we're going to be able to do that, though. So then Chris says, yeah. And Martell says, well, I ain't got no woman, so hey. And then Maurice says, you're not going to bring no imports, talking to Martell. So Martell says, I need to. Says, I know a few of them out there, meaning in Houston. And I was like, you old hoe. I gotta call him that. You and Mel already said you were messing with multiple women in the marriage, and it shows. You got women all over the place that's popping up that you messing with, Martell. You need to sit your ass down somewhere. So then Chris says to Martell, and I was feeling this. Chris says that you ain't got no woman, and she ain't even got your name no more. And Martell looks like, here we go, that bullshit. All right, so Martell, he kind of tries to laugh it off. And he's like, shut up, man. He says that's how it should be. So Maurice then says to Martell, says that you always saying Miss Hope, Miss Hope, Hope, Hope. So Martell then says, haven't been changed though. So I was like, why are you so worried about it, Martell? Like, you hella pressed about Mel and this whole damn name change. So then Chris says that she actually celebrated during the name change ceremony. So then Courtney says, she had a ceremony? So then Marceau then says, did you go, Chris? Chris was like, yep, I sure did. And then Martell says, yeah, y'all always on that dumb shit. So he mad that Chris and them went. He's stealing his feelings about Chris and them going to this damn name change. So Martell, he's mad about that shit. So then Nell and Mel, they sit to talk, and Nell is asking Melody how she feels about going on the trip, knowing that Martell is going to be there. So Melody then tells her expectations regarding Martell, and Nell actually agrees. Okay, she's like, I don't want to be nowhere near him, da 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 da. So now she then finishes talking to Mel, and then she says, let me see if I can ride this bull. All right. I was like, you better get up there, girl. All right. So she says, all right, y'all build me up now. Y'all build me up. Y'all build me up. So she's telling them, hype me up. I'm about to go get on this damn bull. So she's hyped up and ready, child. She runs over. She sashays over her into the bull and runs up and jumps up on the bull, honey. She does her little hop. Then she jumps up and gets on the bull. And then two other girls that actually works there at the place, they jump up. One gets on behind and the other one gets up at the head of the bull. Nell is in the middle, honey. She's just out here gyrating, honey. They going back and forth. Whoever's controlling the bull is making it do this shit here. And they making it do this right here. So Nell is poking her booty out, honey, making a booty jump. So much so until everybody kind of rushes over to where the bull is, honey. And they're looking at her and they like, oh my God, look at Nell. Nell is up here doing shit. So yes, honey. And Fletcher, honey, he done pulled out his phone and he like this right here, honey, while Nell is up there riding on the bull, honey. He's getting a whole video of it. So he can watch that shit later, honey, when they get back in the room. So I was like, whoa, child. So now, honey, she's up there showing out and she actually staying on the bull. You can tell she ain't did. You can tell she's done this before. Now, Nell, you giving that you a rider, girl. And I'm going to leave it at that. All right. I ain't getting your business, girl. So everybody, like I said, they're gathering around watching Nell. Marceau is more turned on than anyone. I'm going to say it again. Marceau is more turned on than anyone. All right. He's sitting there looking at Nell. He's like, look at Nell. Nell is riding this book. And everybody is cheering her on. And she is getting a kick out of that shit. Marceau says, that's what 29 years of marriage gets you right there, Chris. And Chris, he's smiling from ear to ear. All right. Like I said, he's filming it on his phone. Marceau goes via confessional. He said, Nell is riding that bull now. Said she riding. So see, Fletcher said, Fletcher, you got a wild one. That's what Marceau is saying. He was like, but I get it. And then he starts smiling. He gets like a little smirk, like, I know Nell got a little freak in her. I get it why y'all married for 29 years. I was like, you damn skippy. All right, she been rolling her bike just like that. Okay. Yes, Nell. Yes, girl. 2 snaps up for you. But now she little falls off the bull, honey. And she runs around and everybody enjoys it. But she did her thing. I got to get to it. I always wanted to do that low key, y'all. I always wanted to do something like that. I'm going to have to do that because that shit look like it's fun. All right, so Chris explains, okay, who's next? Chris then says, okay, who's next? Who else getting up there? Everybody's like, Nell, you done got up there and showed out like, nah, we ain't doing it. So nobody else decides that they want to get on the damn bull. So then they start hollering, Houston, they, hollering Houston. So like I said, nobody steps up. Next scene is Chris and Nell. They arrive in Houston, okay? They arrive there first to actually check out the house that everybody's going to be staying in. It's a huge, beautiful, nice house, all right? Nice house, nice floor plan. It's spacious. It's beautiful. Everything is nice and clean and laid out for them, all right? So then they show all of the cast. They're riding horses, and they gave them these names. Mel is called a saloon slinger, all right? The saloon slinger Sally, rather. Martell is called a tantrum Todd. Marceau is called Slippery Pete. Tisha was called Grumpy Gus. Maurice is called Curly. And Kim is called Whiskey Lips, all right? Courtney is called Wildcat Willie. Stormy was called a Twitching Trigger. Damn, I can't talk. Tisha, get out of here. So Nell is called Juggle Spurs, and Chris was called Rusty Razors. Okay. So, like I said, they were all riding these horses. I thought they were cute. So then Nell and Chris, like I said, they arrive at the house to check everything out and to claim the master bedroom, which was nice. It was like a suite. I was like, okay, this is a nice place. So Mel is the first to arrive out of the cast. They greet her, okay? Melody says that she is excited for the trip to actually start. She said, usually, you know, I go out of the country or whatever, but, you know, Houston is okay. I guess Houston can do. I was like, girl, yes, all right, because y'all know Melody stay catching flights, honey, never feelings. So Melody, she asked, okay, all right, what room I'm going to be in? All right, thank y'all for inviting me here, but what room I'm going to be in? I want to get my shit out the way for everybody else to get here. So Chris jokingly says, all right, so y'all going to be bunking together. He's trying to be a smart ass and be silly. So Melody like, who? I'm bucking with who? Like, I done told y'all before I flew my ass out here. Now I ain't fooling with Martell. So when he's sitting there grinning, and Melody says, who is y'all? Like, she's serious about that. So Mel says, let's get something straight right now. I don't be on this bullshit now. Let's get something straight. Communication is key now. All right. So then Melody explains her boundaries when it comes to Martell again. She let them know, I ain't here for this bullshit. I don't want nothing to do with Martell while I'm here. So speaking of Martell, he then arrives, all right? He speaks to the Fletchers and asks, where everybody else at? Okay, where everybody else at? So Melody and Nell at this point, they're walking around kind of looking at the house. They're getting, you know, a feel of the house, and Nell is showing Mel around. So Chris says, the only person here really is Mel right now. And so Martell says, Mel or Nell? And Chris says, Mel, that she's actually here already. All right. So Martell, he's starting to look all happy because he done heard Mel is here. All right. So he goes to a confession and says, and me seeing Mel anywhere doesn't really bother me, you know. Says I can actually speak to her, I can talk to her, and it don't bother me at all. Of course it don't, because you fucked up. You did shit to her and you continue to do stuff. All right. So around that time, Mel and Nell, they kind of come back from looking around at the house. Martell says, hey, Nell, hey, Mel. Okay, like nothing ever happened. Says, how y'all doing? So Nell speaks and says, Nell speaks, but Mel is like, she ain't speaking. So Nell says, hey, Martell, hey, how you doing? And she goes up and gives him like a little side hug. So says, you want to go ahead and, so then Mel says to Nell, says, you want to go ahead and I'll just kind of show myself around. I'll finish showing myself around. So she just totally ignoring that Martell is there. So she is ignoring the hell out of him and it's bothering him. All right. So Martell then yells out to Mel, hey, Mel. Hey, Mel, says, how you doing? So Mel's like, she walks off, she twists off, and she throws up the doofus like, she ain't speak. She just threw the two fingers up like, yeah, whatever, nigga. All right. So then Martell goes back to confession and says, oh, so when he tells Chris Fletcher, says, oh, she gave me the deuces. Oh, okay. All right. I'll take that shit then. That's what Martell says. So then he goes back to confessional and he says, it's not going to hurt you or me to not speak. So don't speak. It's cool. It bothered you, Martell, because you spoke to her before she didn't speak. You went out of your way again to personally speak to her and get loud because you thought she didn't hear you, or you were mad at the fact that she ignored you and you continue to speak thinking that she was going to give you the time of day, and she still ghosted you and it bothers you so much so till you took your tight ass Easter pants into another confessional to talk about the fact that she didn't speak to you. Like, move on and leave this girl alone. Obviously she ain't fucking with you and she don't want to speak to you, so let it go. So Kimmy and Maurice then arrive. They greet and they speak to everyone. All right. Melody greets and speaks to Marceau, and gives him a side hug. All right. Martell, he looking on like, oh, none for me. You ain't gonna hug me. So then Chris just takes Martell on and he starts showing him around the house to kind of get him out of the vicinity because Mel is just done with his ass. All right, so they looking around the house. Mel, she's doing what she loves. She's standing at the bar now. She's eating watermelon. Okay. So Kimmy then greets Chris and kind of thanks him for inviting them on the trip. Okay, and asks if anyone else is coming. So Nell said, well, Tiffany and Lewis, they're not coming. Okay. I invited them, but they're actually not coming. So it's like, really? Like, they're not coming? Why? They're not coming? So Nell said, they're having some family issues. Okay. So they're not going to be here. So Martell says, well, somebody else is actually pulling up right now. All right. So of course we know that it's Tisha and Marceau. They're pulling up. They're bringing their bags in, talking about, we don't have no valet or nothing. No, nigga, get the bags and bring your square ass on up in here. So Tisha has that annoying voice when she comes in. Hey, everybody. like, all right, so they greet each other once again and welcome everybody in the home. Nell says to everybody, all right, so we're going to show everyone their rooms. Now, Stormy and Courtney, we have not seen them, not sure if they're going to come. They did not arrive as of yet. So Nell and Chris, they're starting to tell everybody, hey, let's go ahead on and walk through the house, show you guys around, show you guys where your room is going to be. All right, so Nell says that we've already decided who we're going to put where, based off relationship and situation. So Tisha, she's sitting there like what? What's going on? Marceau, he's looking puzzled. Everybody else kind of looks like, what's going on? All right. So Mel looks like, yep, for sure. Like, I already know what's up. Yep, where my room at. So Mel is down with it. Chris says, all right, so let's do this. Let's go. And let's just see the damn rooms. Like, y'all stop standing here looking crazy. Come on, let's look at these damn rooms. All right, so Nell and Chris tell them their rooms and where they're going to be staying. Kimmy said, I don't like this room. All right. I don't really like this room once they show her where she and Maurice are going to be staying. So Tisha says, yeah, this ain't for me right here. This room ain't for me. But I'm like, but Tisha, the way your room look at home, that little matchbox, any room should be good for you, sis. You shouldn't be saying anything about no room that you want to stay in or don't, because it's better than the shit you staying in at home. All right. So Kimmy says, this room is actually warm. And we actually have to share a bathroom with Marceau and them. So I'm kind of not feeling that, okay? So once they show everybody their rooms and get everybody situated and moved into their rooms, they go into the kitchen. Chris and Nell go into the kitchen to kind of prepare everything. And everybody's saying, okay, we smell food, we're hungry. So everybody's ready to go and sit down and eat. So Kimmy and Maurice, they're actually in their room and they're talking about the itinerary for the trip and what's going to be going on. Kimmy mentions their homework from the sex therapist that she asked to do every day in terms of sitting down, talking to each other, giving each other eye contact, and telling each other your expectations in terms of what you're looking for from each other. All right. So Maurice says, what homework? What are you talking about? What homework? So Kimmy reminds him, he says, oh, I almost forgot about that. Okay, Maurice. So Maurice says, I'm going to do what you need me to do because I've been misbehaving here lately. I was like, lately? You mean over the past few years? But okay. So Kimmy reminds him, like I said, of the disrespectful comment about the rollover and take it, okay, comment that he made, and says that it needed to be addressed and how upset it made her parents when they heard about it and how he needed to fix that with them in terms of her parents and with her, okay? So production rotate back to Maurice's interview with Carlos King when he says that sex is something that I need. I need it every day. And Kimmy just needs to roll over and take it, that whole conversation. So, and Carlos King, the whole time Maurice was talking, he was like, nigga, did you really sit here saying this on my platform? Like, dude, like, no. You could tell he was not in agreement with what Maurice was saying, okay? Maurice sounded very misogynistic. So Kimmy then says that you have it all over the internet about a husband having sex with his wife with cancer, and that just does not protect me, Maurice, okay? So I'm like, why you didn't have that energy when you guys went on Fox Soul and y'all were talking about it? And Claudia George, Maurice, did he want to explain and or apologize to you for the comment that he made and how he made you feel? And he kind of stood on what he said and was like, yeah, no, I don't want to apologize because what I said is what I said. So you really didn't care about that then. So I'm feeling like if you say something now that you're sounding kind of fake right now. So he stood on what he had to say. So I feel like that's what he meant. So Kimmy says that you kind of have to fix that because you're not protecting me in what you're saying. So that shit's so stupid. So she wants him to apologize. Kimmy says that her family was wondering like what's going on in our house with Maurice and this comment that he made. She says, and my mama don't play that. And I'm like, no, you don't need to play that. Your mama shouldn't care more about your marriage and what's going on between you and Maurice more than you. Yes, that's going to be embarrassing and offensive for him to say something like that to you, but it should matter more to you than your mother. Your mother should not have to step in and tell you your husband is being hella disrespectful to you. Then you want to come and fuss him out and make him apologize when you didn't have that energy before. That's all I'm saying, all right? But so Kimmy then jumps up on, they get to doing this damn exercise of facing each other, sitting Indian style, then sitting on each other's lap. She's embracing him with her arms behind his head, and they're staring in each other's eyes. They're talking. They're having an intimate conversation, which Maurice is loving because she's sitting, down on the ping or whatever. So, like I said, she jumps up on his lap. They're straddling. They're looking at each other. Kimmy kind of gives him a grandma kiss on the lips, which I was like, ew, kind of cringe. I was like, what kind of kiss is that? She kind of kissed him like an old grandma would kiss a grandchild or something like that. It was hella weird. I was like, what kind of shit is that? No wonder y'all ain't got no intimacy. So Marceau and Tisha are putting their things away in the room. Marceau says that he's going to go get something to drink. And Tisha is putting her Payless pumps up in the closet that's bigger than the one that she got at home. Okay, and I told y'all this is a petty review tonight. All right. So Tisha says, I hate that Tiffany and Lewis ain't coming. She's still on that. All right. So he said Tisha and Marceau discussed Tiffany and Lewis and says that Tisha says that she saw Tiffany while out shopping one day and that Tiffany alluded to having postpartum depression, and says that Tisha says that she was looking at baby Ace and thought that, oh, he's so cute, and it kind of makes her want to have another baby or whatever. So Tisha says, speaking of baby Ace, she said, I've been feeling kind of sick lately, okay? And I took a pregnancy test, and when she said that, Marceau's eyes bulged like, what? Because we all know he has a vasectomy, all right? So Marceau then says that you thought that you were pregnant. Like, what? How the hell are you pregnant when I got a whole vasectomy over here? So Tisha said, yes. And it wasn't positive, okay? I took the test. It wasn't positive. It was negative. Of course, Tisha, if it's not positive, then it's going to be negative. So Marceau says, that's funny because I actually have a vasectomy, Tisha, like in case you forgot, all right? I was like, fake storyline. Here we go with this bullshit. So Tisha says, you do know that people still do get pregnant, right? Okay. I know like 3 people who got pregnant and their husbands had a vasectomy. I was like, okay, Tisha. So Marceau says, did the baby look like the husband then? I was like, shit. So Tisha kind of stands there looking at him all crazy after he says that. So then Marceau then says that Tisha, you have 2 master's degrees and you have a bachelor's degree. And you should be smart enough to know that you got to have sex with someone who can produce a baby. All right. So he insults her intelligence, so to speak, and calls her dumb, kind of in a indirect way. And she kind of takes her a minute to kind of catch on. Then she kind of looks at him like, she says that's kind of disrespectful. Okay. He says that there's a slim possibility that a person can get pregnant by someone that has a vasectomy. Okay, so that's what he's telling her. So Tisha, like I said, she wishes that she has another child because Tisha's lonely in her marriage. She's kind of feeling like Tiffany kind of felt with Lewis, kind of wanting another baby. She felt lonely, so she brought baby Ace into the picture to kind of give her that other, to give her that feeling that she felt that she was missing, and it kind of backfired on her. So Tisha, she's kind of feeling that same feeling that Tiffany was feeling. All right. She's looking for some type of validation because she's lonely in her marriage. Marceau shows her no attention and she don't feel validated. Like I said, she wants to feel needed. Okay. So she feels like a baby would make her feel needed because her kids are older. Her kids are a little more independent now. So Tisha feels like Tiffany felt when she was pressuring Lewis for baby Ace. That's what I'm getting out of this. She's feeling she does not feel validated and or loved. And she doesn't feel that Marceau gives her any attention. He's gone all the time. She feels lonely. She feels very lonely. So Marceau says, well, I'm sorry if I'm speechless right now. So Tisha says, that's fine. Says that you can go get some liquor though. All right. So she's trying to change the subject because she sees the energy is kind of off with him. So Tisha says that I don't even like your respond. I'm like, you mean response, Tisha? She said, I don't even like your respond. So she says that you're saying that you don't trust me or something. Marceau then says that if you get pregnant, that my first thought wouldn't be that you should have that a vasectomy didn't work. Tisha says, well, what would it be then? So Marceau then says that you get a fucking blood test, and that's how he said it, like a sarcastic type of way. So Tisha says, would you really? And Marceau says that I would absolutely do it. Okay. So Tisha says that, and I'll leave your ass too. And so Marceau said, well, how you going to leave somebody that already left you? I said, shit. That's a cold blow right there. Tisha said, you so disrespectful because I'm going to leave you first. I said, this is so stupid. So Marceau then says that I think it's disrespectful to get pregnant on your husband who had a vasectomy. All right. So Tisha says that you should Google it to see how it happens because you don't know. All right. So Marceau then says that, and I'm the one that's gaslighting. So he's telling Tisha that she's gaslighting him. And they continue discussing getting pregnant with this whole vasectomy bullshit, fake storyline. So Marceau, he's steady going back and forth with her, okay, with this whole conversation. Tisha then says that I feel like we should just stop the conversation because it's getting very disrespectful at this point, Marceau. So then Marceau says that Tisha, you took a pregnancy test. I'm not set up like that, okay? And Tisha says, all right, okay then. And then, of course, it's like a cliffhanger because the episode ends there. Thank the Lord, okay? I'll give the episode a 7 because it was hella boring. There was some points in there that were like, I'm going to say the bull riding part was the most exciting to me. The rest of the episode was boring as hell, all right? So let's get into what the next episode, which is going to be episode 29 of season 6. Let's get into what that's going to be, all right? And I ain't going to hold you guys no more. Thanks for the 514 in the building as well. All right, so next episode is they're all sitting at the table. They're still in Houston. They're sitting at the table, and they're eating when they notice that Martell is wearing his wedding band, you guys. And they ask him, why is he wearing his wedding band? All right. So Nell says, what is the ring for, sir? Talking to Martell. So Kimmy asks Melody, says, is that the actual wedding ring, Mel? So Mel said, I don't know. I ain't looked at it. Like, hell, I ain't looking at Martell. I ain't paying his ass no attention. That's the look she was giving. So Martell says, wishful thinking, that's all. He wants some attention so bad. It's sad. So Nell says, you thinking Mel gonna take your ass back, ain't it? Because y'all know Nell is just raw like that. I love it. So Marceau then says, guys, because everybody's starting to become rowdy behind Martell in this damn ring. So Mel, Kimmy, Tisha, and Nell, they're all in the jacuzzi, honey, talking, and they got their little wine and all that, honey. Tisha sitting up there looking like a wet seal with this damn curly wig on, child. When Melody shares that one of her regrets is that she says, I have 4 kids by a dude that never made me come. I said, well, hot damn, girl. And you was with him for 12 years and not one time, honey, did he make you go there? Not one time, girl, did he make you say, oh, Lord. Not one time did he make you grab the pillow and bite the pillow, girl. Like, not one time? Oh, Jesus, that's embarrassing, okay? So Tisha said, you never came? And Nell and Kimmy, they look at each other like, what the hell? All right, so then Tisha says, I don't believe it. Oh, I don't believe it, all right? So then the next scene is Chris tells Nell that Martell had a female, honey, coming to the house last night. And Nell says, like, what the hell? Like, what? So Nell was like, what? He had somebody come up in here. So production then rolls tape back to the security camera where it caught Martell having a female coming in and coming out of his bedroom, okay? And we already know that as that episode progresses, they're going to say that they heard Martell in the room having sex with somebody and that this person was kind of loud. So he was in there tearing somebody's ass up. Maybe he made her come, honey, because Mel was like, child, he never made me. So maybe he got something out of this side chick, honey, from Houston that he done brought up in there. So Tisha tells everyone the next day, child, when they sitting at the table having breakfast, that she took a pregnancy test. So she gonna ride this pregnancy test, honey, to the damn wheels fall off and the engine fall out the damn car. I'm sick of this. So Mel says, well, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with you taking a pregnancy test? All right. Marceau yells out, because I have a vasectomy. All right. So Mel kind of looks at Tisha like, ooh, child, like y'all need to handle that. So then Tisha says, but I've never given you a reason to not trust me. Okay. So Marceau then says, well, taking a pregnancy test is reason enough. All right. So Maurice then says, yep, that'll do it. Martell then asks Maurice, Marceau rather, they go into the bedroom. Martell and Marceau go into the bedroom to have a private conversation. And Martell then asks Marceau, do you think it's a possibility that Tisha cheated? Okay. Why you worry about if somebody's cheating when you done cheated and effed up your whole marriage, your family, and everything else? Like, you damn near on Skid Row. You on your last piece of chicken out of that damn Popeyes box because your ass ain't got no money to take care of yourself. Now they mailed them up and left you. And you worried about somebody else cheating and the possibility of them out here fucking around when that's all you've been doing. I would think that energy and that focus should be on yourself, little Bill. All right, so Marceau says that it's possible, says that 99.5% of wives ain't faithful. So Martell says, yes, he's agreeing. Like he's trying to say Mel done cheated on him. He's agreeing with us. So yep. 99.5% of women do cheat. Like, nigga, sit down. You the only cheater that's been confirmed in the house. Okay. Your divorce and Mel's name change proved it. All right, so then Nell tells Chris, says that Kiki called her and told her that she was coming to Houston and she's pretty much gonna be staying. And Nell told her she could stay there in the house. So Chris says, so she's here. He already know the situation that happened before with the whole drink toss and all that. So Nell says, yeah. Okay, she was kind of reluctant. She was like, yeah. So of course that's it. And of course we know next episode the shit is gonna hit the fan, because as we already know, there's gonna be some type of vote that's gonna take place, because the Scotts do not want Kiki in the house because they're not getting along. And there's been a whole lot of mess going on. So I think they're gonna have a vote, and I think they said that Mel voted for Kiki to stay in the house, and I think the Fletchers voted for her to stay in the house. But the Scotts, of course, y'all know they outnumber everybody, and they voted against Kiki staying in the house. So I think Kiki is gonna stay at like a hotel or whatever, because they didn't want her there. But that is it, guys, and that is all. I hope you guys enjoyed the review, honey. What are we, an hour and a half in? That's pretty good time. Hope y'all enjoyed the review. Feel free to leave comments if you would like. Also, I was saying before, guys, there's some type of glitch going on with YouTube to where it's unsubscribing people from the channel. So if you guys can go back, if you are not getting any of my notifications, go back and resubscribe to the channel, because there's something going on where YouTube is doing it. And I'm not the only one that's experiencing that in terms of a content creator. There's other content creators that's experiencing it as well. So go back and make sure you are subscribed to my channel as well as other content creators that you subscribe to, because there's some type of glitch going on with YouTube to where it's unsubscribing people. Okay. And I would love for you guys to get the notifications when I send them out, so that you guys can be up on any shows that we're doing over here and any other shows that you guys enjoy watching with other content creators. More so myself. I mean, I'm gonna say it for them, but more so for me. Go back and make sure you have that. Okay. Somebody said I can't find the join button. I will look at that again. Okay. It's really, I thought I put it up there, but okay, I will check it again. Rose Armstead. Okay. Thank you guys so much. They said great review. Caramel, I'm good. They haven't unsubscribed me, but yes, go back and check, guys, if you have been unsubscribed, and hit the subscribe button again for me. Okay, love you guys. Down. You guys have a great night. Tomorrow is Car Chronicles. Okay, I will be here, and I will see you guys then. All right, love you guys all the way down. Be safe, be blessed, and have a great night, and goodbye.